Good morning, citizens, and welcome to another episode of Objection Celebrity Court Chatter. It's your host, CJ, and welcome, everyone, this morning. How is everybody? We have Wrathful here. Oh no, who is Steve? Okay, so sorry about Steve. Oh, it seems like is it a rooster? Poor Silver is crying for him. Sorry about Steve, Wrathful. I've been watching Ashley Brianna Eves Misfit Herd TV. If you're not following, oh, it's your bird. Okay, I was like, it's a rooster because I saw it said crowing. Sorry about that, Wrathful. It's so funny because I put it on the other day. Misfit Herd TV. It's Ashley Brianna Eve has a farm, and she's put a camera out for her animals. And so I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep to it because the night before that, I had fallen asleep to the live stream with all the night sounds and stuff. And so I had put it on last night, and it was like a daytime stream, and I didn't even like notice. I just hit play, and there was a rooster crowing. So like I'm like asleep, and I hear all these like cool little nature sounds, and then all of a sudden it's like a rooster crowing, and I was like, okay, this feed might not be the best one. Let me go find the night feed from the other night. Um, So, Mrs. Busted says she's doing much better being here with us. Mrs. Busted Kano Biscuits? I like that name. I don't know what. Oh, can of biscuits. I said Kano Biscuits. Mrs. Busted Can of Biscuits. I like that name. So good morning, y'all. I'm on the struggle bus this morning. Who else is on the struggle bus? I got my coffee right now. I'm just sipping. Um, but I'm still having a hard time with the early morning rise. And yeah, today we are going to be going over the Blake Lively court update, everything that's going on, what's going on with that case. I know, like, you guys, well, I have been a little bit out of the loop as far as the Blake Lively case. I've been retweeting and stuff, but I haven't been able to update you guys because last week we took a little hiatus. So you have Perez Hilton over on the left, and I've been using what does Perez call him? Daddy? ChatGPT for the thumbnails. The one thing that I'm gonna say is that ChatGPT will not do Taylor Swift. So it'll all of a sudden say I can't render celebrity thumbnails. And I'm like, but you do Blake Lively and Perez all the time. He did Pedro Pascal the other day, and it's just Taylor Swift will not. And then the funniest part is that Grok won't do Blake Lively. Grok does a terrible Blake Lively. It's like it doesn't even look like her. But Grok will do Taylor Swift. So, anyways, a little nugget there that I discovered with it. But you got Taylor Swift there in the front. We're gonna unpack what's going. Tree Pain's working so hard. Exactly, Miss Busted. She's like, you will not render any AI images of Taylor, at least not on chat. Um, and so we're gonna go over Taylor Swift exiting the chat. I think I'm the most mad about that because I had this really cool thumbnail with like a Halloween background, and I was gonna do a show, and it was gonna be Swift haunting Taylor deposed because she was supposed to testify or get deposed around Halloween, and I had come up with this really cheeky thumbnail, put it together, and then all of a sudden, she may not be getting deposed after all. So we're going to get into that, the latest on Blake Lively dropping the subpoena on Perez Hilton, which is just so crazy because she dropped all the other ones for the content creators, and it just seems like she's just doing it for retaliation. And let me change my banner real quick because I just realized I have the wrong banner up. I need my allegedly. Yeah, Elena says she may still do it if she makes the time. That will speak volumes about how she feels about Blake. So yeah, we're gonna get into it's like the Dumb and Dumber meme. Like, so you're saying there's still a chance on the whole Taylor Swift of it. So let's go ahead and get into it, and let's start off with and my dang ums. I cannot get rid of them, y'all. Y'all need to help me with them ums. Anybody have any tips on how to not do the ums? Okay. Again, here is the Let me pull up the first. So here's the latest on Perez. We're going to go ahead and start with Perez today. It's here's the latest on the docket. And honestly, I forgot to link the docket in the description, but I will after. So this is the latest. It's the minute order in chambers. And I don't know if I can make this a little bit bigger so y'all can read it. Let me try and zoom in a little. Minute order in chambers of the Honorable Judge Richard Boulware before the court is moving motion to quash subpoena in light of respondents' 46 notice of withdrawal of the subpoena. So they withdrew it. The court finds that the motion to quash is moot, and they also find that the movant's 34 motion to expedite the ruling and the motion for clarification from Perez. Remember, he was trying to clarify, like, why did you make these decisions? And then 19, 23, 24, 25, and 33 motions to make supplemental filings are also moot. Therefore, it is hereby ordered that move-in's motion to quash is denied without prejudice. It is further ordered that move-in's motion to expedite ruling, motion for clarification, and all the other motions for supplemental filings are denied without prejudice. The clerk of court is instructed to close this case. So case closed, y'all. Perez won. He won. It was a hard-fought battle, and we're going to get into how he won. So this is the notice of withdrawal of the subpoena. Let me pull it up here. So this is, can we see it there? Okay. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. I don't know how to get rid of that sidebar. I don't like it. But so this is basically Richard Parker, the Vegas lawyer, is just saying he's withdrawing the subpoena. And this is the reason why, okay, saying the defendants in the underlying litigation produced more than 80,000 pages of material. I still don't know if I believe the 80,000 number, y'all. Let me know if you guys believe that 80,000 page number. Because remember how they embellished how many hours it would take for the video footage and how it was like not true because even ChatGPT and everything was saying there's no way. Well, they got that number, I think, from ChatGPT because based on the terabytes that they got, if you were to put that in ChatGPT and say how many hours does it take to review, it gave that like hallucination answer. But I don't know, 80,000, like think about how many pages that is. 80,000 pages. I don't even know if they could get through that. Let me know in the chat if y'all think that that's overly embellished or if there was actually really 80,000 pages. It says on the evening of September 8th. And so by defendants, they're talking about the Wayfarer parties because they were compelled to produce certain categories of documents, including communications with content providers who seeded, generated, created, or influenced social media or provided related digital or social media services directly or indirectly at their request. And the thing that I'm like, indirectly, indirectly means like anybody who reported on Blake and this whole case, Blake and Baldoni, it's indirectly, right? Because it wasn't, you weren't contacted by Wayfarer, but you indirectly were reporting on it or influencing. And what does it even mean to influence social media? I mean, there's plenty of people. I mean, I watched, Nag and Little Girl Attorney, and are they influencing me? Because when they put out videos, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And, it might shift my way of thinking one way or another. So I don't know. I think it's crazy that they, all of a sudden are like, well, we got the information that we needed. Did it have stuff on Perez in there? I don't know. I mean, did they even have time? This is September 8th. What do you guys think about this? Oh, this is the 12th. So maybe they did have 4 days to go through it and they didn't need it. It says, while counsel for Ms. Lively continues to process and review. Okay, so this is the same. The newly produced materials. It is now clear that the production includes communications that would be responsive to the subpoena. So they're saying, yes, there was stuff with Perez in there. So Ms. Lively always has sought to receive discovery directly from the parties, including by filing multiple motions to compel them, and is pleased that those efforts have resulted in a production of responsive documents that obviates the need to seek additional documents from Mr. Hilton. And so accordingly, Ms. Lively is withdrawing the subpoena and respectfully submits that the pending motion to quash and the cross motion to compel are moot and warrant dismissal. So they're saying we are no longer going to be. But there's a different story here from page 6, had an article, and we're going to get into that. Let me look over on the chat. Good morning, everyone. 80,000 pages equals one paragraph a page, maybe. And Elena says, I'm sure it's an exaggeration. So this article from page 6 says Blake Lively withdraws Perez Hilton subpoena in Justin Baldoni lawsuit. And they got an exclusive with Perez. Shout out to Perez. I wanted to do the show on Saturday, and he said he was going to come on and talk with us and everything, but that he couldn't. He's like, I would if I could, but he was going to go, he was going to be celebrating the win. So maybe we can get him on a future show to chat with us, because I love this arc for Perez. Yes, it was, hard to go through, but it showed like resilience, and I learned a lot from him through this whole process. And so grateful for all the lessons that came out of it. I know, he had to be the guinea pig in the lesson, but I love that, he did say at one of the news conferences, like, Blake Lively, made me relevant because, they were saying I wasn't relevant. Now I'm relevant again. I know I was one of the people that, still kind of, I old school followed Perez. I hadn't really checked out his videos that much or his lives. I used to still go, because I'm still kind of old school. I'll go to like Daily Mail for news, or like Google News. Like I'll type in like the celebrity's name and, get my news through like whatever Google says is the news. And then with Perez, it was so old school because I was still going to his blog. I don't know, there was something about the blog that I loved, and I'd been going to it for a while. So it's been fun following him on this like other side of YouTube. And we'll pull up his YouTube so you guys can follow him if you're not following him. He's got some really great family content, some local Las Vegas travel content. We'll check it out. So right now, let's just get into the exclusive from page 6. It says she's withdrawn the subpoena. And this is what Hilton says. It says court documents obtained by page 6 show that Lively submitted her request on Friday shortly after Hilton, who had been representing himself, aka Prose, retained the ACLU of Nevada to represent him. It says in response to the decision, Hilton told us, I am certain with every fiber of my being. Did I switch the stream here? I hope I did. Yeah, okay, let me zoom in. I gotta be checking because my production, I need better production. I know the other day it was like, we can't see the screen. Okay, so it says, I am certain with every fiber of my being that if the ACLU of Nevada had not agreed to represent me and they had not called their lawyers yesterday to inform them that Blake would absolutely still be pursuing the subpoena. They withdrew today after yesterday's call. So he's saying it has nothing to do with the 80,000 pages or, them getting other documents. He's saying this happened immediately after he got the ACLU of Nevada. Shout out to them. I'm not that friendly with the ACLU just because of what happened with Depp versus Heard, where, the ACLU, I feel like they kind of used Heard for their own like benefits and stuff. And so I wasn't the biggest fan of ACLU, but I am the biggest fan of ACLU of Nevada for helping out Perez. And I know a lot of people donated to ACLU of Nevada in Perez Hilton's name. So I thought that was kind of cool that people came out to support, and that they came out to support him. He is still being repped by the ACLU. And if you guys want to know more on all of that, this is his YouTube he made. I beat Blake Lively in court thanks to the ACLU. And he goes into more detail. And he also, he gives us a little nugget saying he is still being represented by the ACLU. So I don't know if that means that he's going to be countersuing for damages, maybe. I know that he probably doesn't want any more smoke or dealing with these people. But I don't even know if he has a case for damages or something, because I know he went through a lot with this, and it was crazy because she could have gotten it from them and waited until the judge compelled them. There's a process for a reason. So anyways, if you guys want to know more, this video is really cool because it kind of is like the ending of the chapter for him, and how blessed he feels for it to be over. And it's a great video. So if you guys haven't checked it out, go check that out. It says reps for Lively did not immediately respond after page 6's request for comment. And it says, it goes into he was subpoenaed. It says, no, he says, nobody told me to write anything negative about her. Nobody paid me. Nobody gave me talking points, is what he told page 6 last time. And he says that he's feeling exhaustion, relief, cautious optimism, and tempered confidence leading up to his day in court. And remember, we were there during court and saw everything, how it was going to be long and dragged out. They wanted to get into his devices. And this was kind of it says, yeah, real life David versus Goliath, because it was not just about Perez, but it was about all journalistic sources and what it was going to be like to report on anything, not just celebrities in the future. And, how, they could just subpoena you. So anyways, I think it goes into like basically the rest of the story. Digital journalists are entitled to the same protections and privileges as traditional journalists, which is what Hilton was arguing. And he believed that it was a misrepresentation of the law, and that's what he was going to be arguing in court. He's saying, I didn't need any talking points. I didn't need any help forming an opinion. She doesn't want to believe it was organic, but it was. And that's how it is from everyone. It says, there's an inability to accept maybe people are not liking me because of things I've said or because what I filed in the courts. That inability has led us to the point now. And so we still have Candace Owens's subpoena out there and Andy's subpoena out there. We know Andy's doing a documentary, and I feel like, in my opinion, allegedly, that she's trying to silence these creators or retaliate against them and give them a hard time by any means necessary. And with Andy, bringing out that documentary, I don't feel like it feels like she's going to put up a fight. So I don't know the latest on the Andy subpoena. Hopefully he goes on today. Maybe I can get in the chat and ask what's going on with that. But Candace is dealing with the passing away of her friend Charlie Kirk. So we haven't really heard anything from her on the Blake Lively front. She's got bigger fish to fry, it seems like. And I have a feeling that it was quietly dropped as well, only because, remember, they told her, don't even file a motion to quash until we can compel Wayfarer, which I always thought, why didn't they say the same thing to Perez? Why didn't they tell Perez, don't even worry about filing a motion to quash until we figure this out? No, they made him go through the process. Luckily, he didn't get a lawyer, but either way, his ChatGPT costs, I used to joke those were his legal fees. Either way, they made him go through hell. And yeah, it was just really not cool. So it says, who is advising this woman? Good morning, Carm. Like, why would lawyers let her do this on whims? Or is it the lawyers and she's not in on it? Well, I think it's her, honestly. I think it's her. And I think that the lawyers, they just want to get paid. They're going to keep, going on this. Meryl probably got paid the big bucks. She was traveling to Vegas. And it was so funny because last night I was thinking about Meryl and I was like, dang, she's just a person. Because I kind of went hard on Travis Kelce last night. And I was going to take it down, but then I'm like, no, I'm going to keep it up just to remind me not to do that again. And I started being like, you know what? Like, I'm so harsh on people. Like, I need to be nicer. Because I remember with Meryl how, like, I was just like, you were fighting for your life and talking about how down she was in court. And then I was like, dang, that was like an actual real person who, like, kind of lost in court. The judge was not having it. And, like, I went after her. So I don't know. I felt a little bit bad for her. She wants to pull a Kim K, says Joe. I saw an article on that from Reality TTV. I don't know how accurate Reality TTV is, but they said Blake Lively wants to follow in Kim Kardashian's footsteps. So I don't know how accurate that story was, but I thought it was pretty funny that she wants to become a lawyer now. That's hilarious. But yeah, I did. I felt bad for Meryl. And then I remember they had that advisor fly out there. One of the associates, she wasn't a lawyer. She was just an associate. She wasn't there the second time, but I'm sure they made tons of money. So let's see. It's easy to dehumanize people when following situations like this, especially online, says Elena. I know. I got to do better. Um, I'm not a bot, says, you're right, CJ. I think it's Blake. Let's remember she now wants to become a lawyer after working so closely with this case. That's the chatter, but I don't know if I believe it. I think it just sounds like something made up. Until, because reality TV, I don't know them as like a source. I've never really followed reality TV or if they have accurate sources or what, but it just seems like something made up to me. So Isabella's mom is an attorney and probably has something to do with Blake's moronic ideas. Oh, I didn't know that. That's a good theory. So that's the Perez Hilton of it all. Again, let me plug Perez one more time because I don't know. I'm a Perez stan. Let me see. Does he have his family channel? I think it's Perez Hilton Family. Let me see. Yeah, Perez Hilton and Family. Here we go.
Hello, my name is.
Did that come up? Okay, yes, it did. This is one of my favorite channels to follow him on. He this is like his family channel with his kids. He made such a wholesome video that was it yesterday? He threatened to end his own life, my son and his 12-year-old friend, and he tells this story about how his son had a friend who made a comment and how above and beyond his son went. I really thought it was so wholesome to get his friend some help, and how the guidance counselor called Perez to tell him, how great he was doing raising his kids and things like that. And so he has some really wholesome content. Like, parenting is so hard. I really like the family content. So if you guys don't follow his fan, and then he has travel content too, where he goes to different eateries with his mom. I love that Teresita. His mom's name is Teresita. Look, here is Mama Perez right here. I love the Teresita content. She's just so wholesome, and I just love it. So y'all go support Perez either on the family channel. And I'm not subscribed to his family channel. How am I not subscribed? Let me subscribe to that one. But yeah, I've been watching it and been watching his travel content, which is it a different channel? Because I can't find it. But he basically goes to like all these cool places in Las Vegas, and I thought it was really cool to see all these cool restaurants and all these cool places he can take his kids, and it's really fun. So he's got some new merch out. Wear Your Florals merch. Grab your friends, wear your florals. I wanted to do like a cool little thing with you guys, my followers, where y'all help me pick out the merch because he's got so much cool stuff, and I wanted you guys to help me pick it out, like which ones, because I got like my top 3, and I was gonna have you guys. Let's see, is it in this store? No, this is just his I love my. Oh, here it is. See, it says grab your friends, wear your florals. You guys see it? The sweatshirt. So I was thinking either the sweatshirt in green, this one here. So I don't know if we can pick it today, but I was either thinking this sweatshirt in green because I really like the color. And then the coffee cup. So once I start going back showing my face, but where's the coffee cup? It's not here, but right here. Grab your friends, wear your florals. There's the coffee cup right there. Or there was a notebook. Where's the notebook? I don't think the notebook's here, but there was a notebook. So those are the top 3 that I was thinking of getting. And I was going to ask you guys which one. Look at that pink one is really cute, but I like this one. I like that one right there. I thought it would be cute. So maybe you guys can help me pick it when I'm ready to make that purchase. I'll do it on a morning show. I think it'll be fun. So let's move on into the latest in the lively docket. So yeah, Perez is free, y'all. I'm just so grateful that Carm says I want the hoodie in teal. Elena says love the green sweatshirt. Yes, and thank you, Laura, for at the Perez Hilton, and it's at the Perez Hilton Family for his family channel. Thank you for linking that for him. Oh, she said if you scroll all the way down, I think it shows all his channels. 4 more links. Oh, okay. No, it just says perezhilton.com and then his Facebook. But Yeah, you guys can go and check out all his links. He's also on X as well. So let's get into this docket and what's the latest. I don't follow the Case and Coslow case. DFJ is my go-to for all the side cases, and I don't follow Case and Coslow. It says that they are now not compelled to turn over the information, the documents right now. It's saying that there is the motion for reconsideration from the Wayfarer parties is being granted. So they shall file a revised privilege log no later than 5 p.m. on September 16th, identifying the specific portions of the documents that constitutes communications for the purpose of obtaining legal advice and as to which they are claiming attorney-client privilege. And Case and Coslow are relieved from the obligation to produce documents pending further order from the court. So not sure what's going on with the Case and Coslow case. That's the latest. Like I said, I don't really follow that one, but I guess good for them. And then we also have the entry of judgment from the New York Times, which they're, I guess, trying to dismiss themselves from the case permanently, which I thought they were already dismissed. So I don't know what's going on with that one either. It's just, I guess, business as usual, something that just is normal that has to be done. And then here we have the opposition to modify the scheduling order. It says, this is the latest, which is that he did not grant the Wayfarer parties an extension to extend the schedule so that they could depose Taylor Swift. It says here, they have offered no evidence that they have served a renewed subpoena on Swift, and thus they've demonstrated that the scheduling the deposition now presents logistical difficulties, and it does not answer the question of why the deposition could not have been conducted earlier. I've seen some lawyers say, hey, Wayfarer dropped the ball. They should have had their duckies in a row trying to subpoena her a long time ago. According to these filings, they only reached out to her 3 days ago, and it really set me off, like the fact that she did this letter, because according to Ashley Brianna Eve, this letter did a lot of damage to Baldoni's online reputation. Negative chatter on him skyrocketed, and if you guys haven't gone over there to see that episode, I'm going to send you guys over to her channel after we're done here, because she's actually doing her first episode on Rebel versus Wilson and at 11. So I'm going to send you guys over there. She's been churning out really, really great stuff. And one of those was the Baldoni stuff that she did get backlash for, but she does the PR. She's the one who's got the, backstage, what did I say? Not backstage, behind the scenes tools that show us like what the chatter is looking like and all that stuff. And I guess, I don't know, I wasn't in the chatter. I don't know who DM'd her or what happened, but on X, she did say that she was getting negative backlash from her just simply reporting that Baldoni was getting negative backlash. And she's just like, well, I'm just informing y'all, like that's just what's actually happening. That's the reality of things. And partially this was because of this Taylor Swift letter that she submitted to the courts where, let me see if I can find it real quick. This letter to the courts, actually I think that was just the denial, because I thought it was, I have DFJ pulled up over on the other tab, but let me see which one it is. Because her lawyer, she has a different lawyer, Blake Lively, Jones Work. She's basically saying like, hey, look, I never agreed to it. And yeah, I don't, where is it? Let me see if it's over here, if DFJ posted it. But basically she's saying I didn't agree to it, and like I'll sit for one if I have to. And so the Swifties are like, look at Baldoni dragging her back into it, because that's what Blake Lively had said. And I'm going to pull up this one from Ludwig the Sniffing Dog. I love Ludwig. He's been breaking down Not Actually Golden over on TikTok, her videos. I love how he does these little timestamps of what she says. And so Ludwig broke this down from NAG as saying, News outlets have been misreporting the deposition situation. The issue was not timing or whether Taylor Swift could be deposed. This is what NAG is saying. No witness ever wants to be deposed. It's disruptive, it's stressful, it's full of lawyer questioning. Swift isn't volunteering, but she's not fighting it tooth and nail either. Blake Lively listed Swift in her initial disclosures, and this is the news that's getting buried, that everyone, well, including Blake, saying this is a PR move by Baldoni. He's trying to put her in here. The Swifties are like, screw Baldoni. He's trying to get Taylor Swift into this. And that's not the case, because she put it in her initial disclosures. Let me put myself down here so y'all can see it bigger. There's DFJ. I'm pulling up your stuff here soon, DFJ. Because she had throwbacks to what was going on with the Taylor situation. It's docket number 763. Thank you, DFJ. Yay. On it. This is why I love her. She's on it. Okay, so let's look over 763 at that letter, because it just stirred me the wrong way, y'all. So this is where it says, further, my client did not agree to a deposition, because they were basically saying like she agreed to a deposition, but only on the 20th through the 25th. And this is all just semantics with the lawyers just playing games, I feel like, because if somebody gives you a date, they're obviously agreeing like, hey, I agree on these dates. But if she is forced, and this is the language, but if she is forced into it, they could have just said, but she, but we advised that her schedule would accommodate October 20th. They didn't have to use this language. But if she is forced, this is what pissed me off, this language right here. It's just like, I thought you were cool. Blake Lively made me a Swiftie because I was like, okay, you're on, not on Team Baldoni necessarily, but I was like, you're going to do the right thing. And it was only Papa Swift who did the right thing. Now that I think about it, it was never Taylor. It was Papa Swift who did the right thing, allegedly. That her schedule would accommodate if the parties were able to work out their disputes. If the parties were able to work out their disputes, which means Lively and Wayfarer. And we know sure as heck that Lively and Wayfarer are not going to work out anything. They've been at each other's throats for a while. So, okay, sorry guys, I was reading something else. So apparently the redacted name on that one filing, we'll find out tomorrow, because they had 1 week to file a letter to the court to continue sealing that. So that's a little Easter egg I just got from a follower. So thank you for that. So we'll know more about the redacted person. Ooh. I know Colonel put out a video ripping Liz Plank, which I'm not a big fan of Liz Plank. So I'm still dying on that hill that it's Liz Plank. Other people have come up with other names. Claire, a W. I don't know how to say her last name. From Empire Waste, which was a movie that Baldoni did. And there's other theories. I did a video on it, like a really fun video. Let me see if I can pull up that video. I did a really fun video on let me just pull it up here. It says mystery declarant right here. Blake Lively's new filing, who is a mystery declarant. And we did like a tier list on like who we thought, based on like all these citizens' theories, who we thought was the most likely to the least likely. But yeah, so let's get back to Perez, to the Taylor Swift of it all, back to this Ludwig post. It says, as the deposition approaches, you can subpoena a witness directly. You could do a friendly subpoena by working with their lawyer on timing. Sometimes parties ask for an informal chat to gauge the value of the testimony. So never say never. It's like that meme that I said. So you're saying there's still a chance? She might still do it, because the deposition's closed September 30th. If they can find time, or, like Nag's saying, a friendly subpoena, a little chat, a little chit chat. Wayfarer didn't get to explain why they waited so long, because they filed something saying like, we want to get a motion to leave. So basically, one person gets a chance to file, then the other person can reply, and all this stuff. It goes back and forth. But if you want to reply after this process is done, you have to file a motion for leave to be able to submit this reply. And apparently they did, but Judge Lyman just rushed this order. And I was like, doesn't he want to like see all the tea? I don't know. If I was the court clerk and the judge, I'd be like, I want to see the tea, because apparently they had some evidence that they wanted to submit to back up the reason why they wanted to subpoena her and everything. And I wanted to see that. The judge ruled against Wayfarer before hearing the reasons for the delay, possibly because he was already frustrated with their late filings. And this is where I saw a lot of attorneys say they dropped the ball. Like, as much as we love Wayfarer and Team Baldoni and all that stuff, like, they dropped the ball. Bad lawyering. Locks testimony. Why deposition matters? It locks the testimony under oath so witnesses can't change their stories later. And this is in Depp versus her. This is where she got caught up a bunch, was her deposition versus her live testimony. So it does matter. Procedural norms. Witnesses' reluctance is extremely common. Multiple lawyers get to question the witness, which makes it less appealing. She says Swift's lawyer signaled that she doesn't want to testify, but that she'll show up if she's subpoenaed. Neutrality is normal. Witnesses aren't automatically on a side. But I get it that they're not on a side, but I don't know. For me, I felt like she was on our side because she, wasn't Blake's friend anymore. And, I felt like she wasn't going to have it and was going to testify against her. And I mean, I did think about the whole thing about maybe she's just like, okay, I'm not going to be your friend, but I'm not going to go against you either. Like, I'm not going to go super hard against you unless I have to. That's a possibility. But I'll show you guys the post I made yesterday, because I was just like, I'm done with Taylor Swift. Lawyering is about reading the room, not just the rules. Litigation needs soft skills, not just aggression. Strategy over force, the shoe said. How they can do it with Zoom. Swift could be likely negotiating a Zoom deposition. So that could be another thing, because nowadays you can do anything over Zoom. So we'll see. Maybe she'll get back in my good graces. We'll see. Judges dislike late requests, and the PR risk outweighs strict legal enforcement. So those were just her little thoughts on it. I love Nag, and I love how he breaks this all down, Ludwig. So shout out to Ludwig. Give him a follow if you guys aren't already following Ludwig, the sniffing dog. He breaks them all down like this. Let me go to his. And he actually was the one who did the production for all the cool songs with Kirby and the character design and all that stuff. But yeah, so he does these cool little and he did this one for attorney Katie, who I also love, Katie Pope, over on TikTok. And so he does the little timestamps for you, and it's cool for those people who don't have TikTok, who can't see. This is Brit, another one that I love. I was with them on a live on TikTok, which is so, so cool. It was like the Brady Bunch. We were all in little squares. It was really, really cool. But so go check out his stuff. I'm going to transition into DFJ, our very own DFJ, who she does all the side cases, like I said. So she's going to be your go-to for Tayylor, all the Jed Wallace stuff, all the side quests. She's your go-to girl. And she says, Judge Lyman continues to disappoint and grants Lively's motion for a 10-day extension on depots. Because Lively has been generally diligent on her request and has not resulted from carelessness, her request is granted, but Wayfarer parties have not similarly demonstrated good cause or diligence, and so theirs is denied. And so a lot of people are like, what the heck is going on with Judge Lyman? I would say that's a normal decision, because a lot of attorneys were saying, like, that's normal. Look, they dropped the ball. Except for the fact that he just rushed it. He should have let them reply to see what else they had. That's the only thing that makes me think it's sus. So she then posted flashbacks to other Swift moments in this case. Do we remember when her lawyers were giving Baldoni the info that they asked for without a need for a subpoena? So Swift and her lawyers have given Baldoni all the info asked for without a need for subpoena. Because remember, they had filed something saying as much, basically saying, like, we've got what we needed, so we're withdrawing the subpoena. And then she also reminded us of this moment. Blake Lively's lawyer contacted Taylor Swift's lawyer and demanded that Swift release a statement of support for Lively. And if Swift refused to do so, private text messages of a personal nature in Lively's possession would be released. Lively also requested Swift delete their text messages. So this was the alleged extortion that Papa Swift stopped. So DFJ was also reminding us about that. When Swift's dad went to Wayfarer, I have to think her team gave Wayfarer something. I really don't believe that they dropped the subpoena empty-handed. And I believe that too. I believe that they must have gotten something. And, why would Candace's source say it was Papa Swift, or like there's something more going on here. So she reminded us of that. And yeah, so follow her for any new updates on any of this Taylor Swift saga. But this is what I posted yesterday. I was like, I'm taking it back, because I had posted the way. Look, let me post this one real quick. The way Blake Lively and has turned me into a Swiftie, and I ship these two. They're so wholesome. This is when they got engaged, Taylor Swift and Travis, and I was like, oh, so wholesome. And then yesterday, I was just not having it. I was like, I'm taking it back. I'm taking back my shipping of Taylor and Travis. I said, between her letter to the judge and her not having, quote, time to sit for a deposition, to hold Lively accountable, like, that just, it stirred me the wrong way. I put, and her boyfriend Travis yelling at his teammates when he's the reason they lost the game. I'm completely over them again, because he was yelling at his teammates so bad. I believe he said, like, I'm tired of this shit, and like threw his helmet. And I'm like, why are you yelling at your own teammate? Like, I saw Jalen kind of Jalen Hurts from the Eagles kind of say a little something to one of his teammates, but it wasn't like, it's giving Philly's Karen, where like she knew she was on the giant projector, whatever, big screen, and she still acted how she did. It's like, come on now, like, you're Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Don't, it set me the wrong way. But I was like, I said what I said, and I had Swifties coming after me in the DMs, like, Ashley is not wrong. There was someone who said, like, I could go to hell and I wasn't gonna sleep at night, and like, I don't know, it wasn't like a death threat per se, but it was pretty harsh. I was like, whoa, like, all I said was I'm taking back the ship. Like, I didn't say nothing bad about her. But yeah, the Swifties are crazy. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to shipping Taylor. But for right now, I'm revoking my ship card of Taylor. And yeah, so for those that don't know, yesterday I was tweeting a lot on X, or what do you call it? Tweeting? Do you still call it tweeting? I was posting a lot to X because I did start a sports channel. So this is Objection Sports Chatter, where I'm going to be covering all like debating on sports and legal lawsuits and all that stuff. So just a new little channel community that I started over on X. We got 6 members strong. We're going, and that's why I told you all I was kind of harsh on let me see, latest here on Travis Kelce. I posted this like really sad picture of him, and later I was like, I should take it down. Where is it? I was like, oh, right here. It's like him crying. And I was like, I should probably take it down, but I was like, I'm gonna leave it up just to remind me not to do that again, because I'm like, dang, he must have felt bad after losing and everything, even though like it sucked that he yelled at his teammates and stuff. I was like, I'm just gonna take it down. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna leave it up to remind me not to like go so hard on people. Like, I went so hard on Meryl, so hard on Travis. I'm going so hard on Taylor to the point of people coming after me. I was like, I need to just think about it next time. But yeah, you guys can follow this community if you're into sports. We're gonna be doing that Around the Phone, which is my other channel. It's like a little game show, sports game show. I've got someone who's used to be an A1 volleyball player who's gonna be coming on. I'm also trying to get someone else who's into like college basketball. We have our friend Ketchup Court Hines himself, who does he does soccer more so. So I'm trying to get 4 people, because Around the Horn, it's like Around the Horn was canceled, and so it inspired me. I was like, oh, I want to do a show like that. So that's a sports kind of like game show style. You get points for debating and stuff. And it's 4 players. And so, because it's 3 rounds and you drop off players as you go. So I'm still looking for one more person so that I can actually start, make my first show. So if you're interested in being on the show, you don't have to know like a ton about sports, but yeah, if you like sports in any way or are a fan of sports or anything, let me know. You guys can send me a message over on X or here on the chat if that's something that's interesting to you. she says, Tweety Bird said, I'm not an irrational Swiftie. I use common sense. Okay. He hurt one of his offensive teams on the opening game. Andrea said, I'm with you, CJ. They almost got me into the letter. Like, no, seriously. I was like, they're so cute. They're so wholesome. Now I'm like, And I was really into the new romantic stuff with Taylor Swift. So I'm still going to be sleuthing it because I just love a good puzzle. So I'll still follow her new romantic stuff. But basically, those are like Easter eggs that she puts out that people try to like decipher her latest. Her and Drake have been heavily on Pinocchio. Elena said the New Heights podcast pulled me in, but now I'm not sure. So what else are you guys chatting about as we end the stream here? Thank you guys for showing up this morning. We have such a great crowd. We have 90 people here today, which is a really good crowd, good Monday crowd. So sorry, now that I have more people, it's so hard for me to go all the way up to read all the chats. So sorry if I didn't read your chats. There's so much up there. If you guys become members, your chat will get highlighted and it'll automatically star it. Carm says, "Oh my God, I love Hines. Can't wait." Yeah. Yeah, he said he'd be willing to come on, and he's got a sports channel he's trying to get started, but he wants to get his legal channel up before he does. He's not like me that's just making channels left and right, because I am going to start a different community as well, Objection Fashion, because I wanted to talk about the Emmys fashion. So I'm going to start another little community probably today or tomorrow, whenever I get a chance to start that. But it'll be like a whole line of Objection Live communities and shows where we talk sports, fashion, celebrity legal lawsuits, and true crime. Joe says, when are you inviting Bocce Go Hawks to come on the show? Whenever. She's always invited. She's been invited since the very beginning of this show. But she was very, very private. She said she didn't want to get, bigger. And she said, only send nice people to me, is what she told me. Because she's like, I want to get more eyeballs, but then I also don't want to get meaner people. Because the bigger you get, the trolls start coming out and stuff. So she's been invited since the very first, when I first started making content. I was like, hey, you trying to come on my show? But I will send a bat signal out to her again and see if she's willing, now that she's been making more content and going live and stuff herself, and putting more content on YouTube, and see if she wants to come on, because I absolutely love Bocce. She was one of my very favorite. Her and So Knit and Crafty, which I haven't checked her out in a minute, but her and So Knit and Crafty were my two favorite underground creators on TikTok, because they didn't have a big following, but they had great content, and I was constantly retweeting them and giving them their flowers and stuff. So what else are you guys talking about in the chat? Let's see. Oh, you guys were talking about the redacted names, who it was, whether it was Ryan Reynolds or who it was. Okay, so I think that's our show for today, you guys. Let me see if I have any other tabs. Tonight, okay, I'm going back to doing the night shows. I'm going to be doing one tonight, one tomorrow night. My Roman empires lately, let me just double check that I covered everything. We covered Tayylor. Really quick, we covered the docket and everything. So we'll see. We'll stay tuned to what's coming up next in the Blake Lively scenario. But tonight, we are going to be covering the Charlie Kirk. This is my new Roman Empire, y'all. Charlie Kirk, yes, it's controversial for some people. I don't know why. I lost 120 followers, I believe the final count was, on X, because I just posted, not even anything crazy about it. I was just like, I'm covering this, and like, this is crazy. Like, it's crazy to me that all, the suspects and everything that's happening. But I know there's a Christian rapper / singer. He raps, Forrest Frank. If y'all don't know who Forrest Frank is, follow him. He's really, really cool, really positive music, not your normal like Christian style music. It's like Christian pop and rap. It's just such cool music, super uplifting. But anyways, he posted something and he lost 50,000 followers or something crazy like that. And it's just like, it's just craziness that has to happen. But Regardless of whether, I lose followers for it, it's my Roman Empire, and y'all know. Can I tag Laura Trainer in Travis's meltdown? Oh, because she missed it? Yes, I will. I'll tag you in it. Amber Tamblyn? What? The tea? Annie pouring hot tea. Amber Tamblyn deactivated her Instagram over her vile Charlie Kirk's daughter comments. Ooh. Is Amber Tamblyn yes, that is her. That's Blake Lively's friend, right? Ooh, I'm going to have to go. Let me see. Amber Tamblyn. Is there any story or anything? Because that is hot piping tea. Okay, so y'all know that I report on anything that's my Roman Empire. So, yeah. Here it is, y'all. Okay, hot tea. Amber Tamblyn faces... So birds of a feather flock together because, okay, what did you do? Faces backlash for her remarks regarding Charlie Kirk's views after his tragic death. And so she said something about his daughter on Blue Sky. Let's see. Kirk raised the current... called the assassination a public... let's see. Mocked that his young daughter witnessed it and said, wish granted. Wait, what? Okay, this is the Hindustan Times, and it literally just froze my computer, y'all. Okay, there we go. Oh, they started going after her. Okay, I'm not going to read that. But where is her tweet? Let me go see if I can find someone else who reported this, because this is freezing up my computer. Sorry, Hindustan, you have some ads or something going on that's not conducive to what I'm trying to do here. Let's see, Facebook. Oh, they're the only ones who had it. Oh, say Breitbart. How do you say that? Okay, here. Witness is horrific. Wish granted, Tamblyn wrote in a Thursday Blue Sky post sharing a Newsweek headline saying Trump ally Charlie Kirk suggests children should watch public executions. Oh, he's saying children should watch public executions. Now, this was taken out of context, y'all, because he was talking about criminals. Criminals should be publicly executed. This is not someone who was tried in a court with a jury of his peers and was a criminal and was publicly executed. No. This is the same thing as the stoning of the gays that people were saying that he said, which he did not. He was referring to what the Bible said. He wasn't saying him personally or that he condoned that or anything. He was saying this is what the Bible says. So anyways, lots of things out of context, which we'll go over on tonight's show, because somebody debunked all these out of context things. And what I really want to go over on tonight's show is oh, and I don't even have it up. Okay, let me view on StreamYard. Hold on, I can't unsee the footage. Yeah, that was crazy, like how I was just scrolling and I had to see it. Let me remove this and add I didn't realize the Amber Tamblyn stuff wasn't on showing. So here's Amber Tamblyn. Actress Amber Tamblyn mocks Charlie Kirk's daughter. And so here's the tweet. The article she was retweeting was Trump ally Charlie Kirk suggests children should watch public executions. And she wrote, wish granted. She was suggesting that Kirk, was like wish granted that he was executed in front of his daughter. So this is Blake Lively's friend. This is Amber Tamblyn, Miss I support Blake Lively, saying wish granted that his daughter. That's just crazy to me. Thank you to Elena for thank you for becoming okay. It says this is how you become a member here. You have to do it from a PC, or you can copy this link to join as a member. I wanted to highlight that really quick. If you guys wanted to become a member, and it automatically highlights y'all's chat so I can see them quicker. Andy from Popcorn Planet says what? To not seek out the footage, and I listened to him. Glad I did. Oh, yes. If you haven't watched it, I didn't seek it out. I literally was just scrolling, and it wasn't like it started where, he's answering the question or anything. No, I was scrolling, and it immediately played the video. Like, as I scrolled up, it immediately just played the part where it shows like full blown. I was like, what in the heck? And I watch a lot of action movies, and I'm watching Peacemaker. It's actually a really good show. I really like it, but I'm having a hard time watching all the violent scenes in there ever since I watched that, because, and even the girl on the train who got her throat, like, I'm having a really hard time watching television violence now that I've seen like in real life violence. Um, it's crazy that happened. Uh, like when people talked about when he wasn't empathetic and therefore don't deserve empathy. This quote is from a conversation he had talking about the differences between empathy and compassion. And there's also suicidal empathy, which is something that I don't know if it's like a new term or what, or if that's a new term that's coined, but it's basically having empathy, having so much empathy to the detriment of one's own self. So it's called suicidal empathy. And so I think he was also making a point of that. It says the story that his daughter was there is false. You got to be really careful reporting, CJ. Lots of misinformation. Yeah, there was people who were saying, oh, look, and here's one of our members, Bizio. He's a member. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being a member, Bizio. I appreciate you. And he's here this morning, or they're here. I don't know. I always say he or she, and then I don't know, unless you have like a picture of you. They're here this morning. Yeah, I'm not sure if she was there, because the wife does speak, and we're going to go over Erica speaking today. She did say that she got home to her daughter, and her daughter asked, where's daddy? So I think if she was there, she would not have asked that. But yeah, we're going to go over it, and not because we're not going into the Charlie Kirk of it all, or whether, his statements were true or not, or what he said. My Roman Empire is, well, for one, Erica was pretty badass in her speech. For a woman who's going through grief. So we're going to go over that part. But my Roman Empire is this suspect, this Robinson kid and his friends, and the fact that he wore sunglasses and a hat that he wore in so many other different pictures on the day of that he did this. Like, was it just poorly planned? Is he just an amateur? Like, I don't know. There's so many things that don't make sense. So we're going to go over that tonight with y'all. Oh, Miriam is your name. Okay, Miriam. I do not have a private channel. Okay, so it's a girl. Her name's Miriam. Okay, so thank you, Miriam. I appreciate that. Oh, so I thought you were saying hi to Miriam. That's just your name. Okay, cool. Bizio, I appreciate all your support. You did give to the Rebel Wilson Fund, which I'm still covering Rebel Wilson, y'all. I'm going on all these different little tangents, and I know I got to finish it up. I've got 2 episodes of that to finish, and we will get into it. I think the reason why I haven't been really pursuing that, I did get the case together. It's just a really, really heavy case, y'all. And it's a dangerous case too, because you're talking about these alleged allegations that include some really dark stuff. So I got to be really careful on how I report it. And I haven't been feeling like super sure about it. Remember with Demore, it was 3 or 4 months before I finally did my show on that. And that was after, people were like, come on, you need to get it out. I have a really hard time reporting on things that are like somewhat dangerous. I still haven't really deep dived into the Fat Joe allegations, or, anything with, I never covered the Jay-Z parent disputes and stuff like that. So Rebel is coming. Like I said, I'm sending y'all over to, I believe Ashley has a show at 11 today with the timeline and everything. If you guys want to get thank you so much, Miriam. She said it is heavy. No worries. I am still going to get the Australian docs. The case isn't going anywhere. It's kind of like with Donna Adelson. I keep telling y'all, I'm going to do a Donna Adelson recap, and is Wendy next? I was like, worst case, Wendy gets arrested, and I changed the name of the episode to Wendy was next. So that's not going anywhere either. I'm just kind of, doing content that makes, I'm doing what I want to do, I guess. While I do respect the followers and what they want, and I know that I'm not trying to overpromise and underdeliver on these cases, but like I said, I was going to do Donna Adelson on Sunday night, and all this Charlie Kirk stuff came up. Also, I was watching football yesterday and went on a sports tangent. But I do appreciate everyone who still follows me and who like bounces around with all my Roman empires. So saying, what else is going on? My algorithm keeps showing me old Charlie and Erica and their kids happy and enjoying life. Yeah, that's tough. Uh, Andrea says, I'm sad about all the stuff calling for firings and stuff. The job market is already so bad. And yes, and I know a lot of people don't agree. I know that some of my creators that I follow, Ari and Colonel, which I adore and I love, and their stance is like, they're anti-cancel culture and they don't really appreciate all this stuff. But it's not just simply having a bad opinion. It's like literally, I understand it when it comes to teachers and firefighters and people who are in the job market of like saving lives or shaping lives. um, Celebrating somebody's death in that way of saying like, I'm glad that somebody got publicly unalived. It's not the same as saying like, oh, I don't like him. It's totally different. I know, people are going to have different opinions and I respect them so much. So, I am sitting with those opinions that they have about how it's cancel culture, but at the same time, uh, I feel like some of those people just went too far and there's consequences for that. Like, I know that, to me, it just seems maybe the pilot stuff. Like, I don't want him flying a plane because American Airlines just fired someone who was a pilot who said something. Um, but I don't know, when you have someone's lives in your hands, I don't know. It just feels like sociopathic behavior a little bit to be like, yes, I'm glad he got killed, even if like you don't like even if you don't like a person. Like, I don't like Blake Lively, but I would never wish death upon her. Or if something bad happened to her like that, where she like died horribly, I wouldn't, I would mourn it. I would mourn it. I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. She has kids. Like, it's so messed up. I wouldn't be like, yes, Baldoni got out of his lawsuit or anything. Like, I don't know. There's just a certain type of person that celebrates and a certain type of person that just doesn't, that wouldn't celebrate something like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into the politics of it all. So if you guys want to tune in, it's not going to be uh a political Charlie Kirk who's right or wrong. I'm not a bot, just became a member. Thank you so much. That means so much. That's really cool. I'm not a bot. I appreciate that. And I'm going to start having some perks for members. I'm going to really get on my stuff here. Lining up all my deckies in a row and starting to show my face again. I have my regular computer up now and a dedicated space to do it, because I normally just do it on my laptop. And then like I'm sitting still in bed here. It's nice to just wake up. Obviously showing my face, I'm gonna have to like get up and get ready and be prepared for y'all. But yeah, I'm getting a setup together and I'm gonna get all my stuff, all my duckies in a row. And, like I said, I got these cool little channels. I want to talk about the Emmys fashion and stuff too. So lots of cool stuff to come. And obviously the Rebel series that I want to put out as well. Um, what else that I want to cover this week? This week, I guess we're going to be covering the legal wrap up. Ashley said she can come on my show this week, so I'm going to take her up on it. It'll probably be Friday when I do sidebar. So Friday morning, let's look forward to Ashley Brianna Eve on the show. She wants to talk PR and marketing. Cardi B and her marketing for her new album is just, oh my God, it's so fun. So fun. She's going boots on the ground in New York to hustle her CDs. And so we want to talk a little bit about that. And, she always has such a cool insight on branding and marketing and stuff. I want to bring her back remember the case that we were covering on Busta Rhymes and his criminal stuff, how his SEO, all of a sudden he started getting all kinds of awards, even some that were like all of a sudden MTV makes up an award just to give to him, and how I think it was like reputation laundering. So I want to ask her about that. So we have that to look forward to. Lots of cool, fun stuff. Carm says, I love Ashley. Yeah, I really love her stuff because it's not like your normal what you like normal content. It's very like niche. I know Chris PR over on TikTok has PR content over there, but it's not as robust. I mean, Ashley puts together a whole show. She has the tools, the analytics. It's really, really, really cool. Let's see. You have to deep dive Lyman's father with me. Oh yeah, that's another deep dive, because DFJ got an insider tip on Lyman's father being in Hollywood. So yeah, follow her for that one as well. I'm really into my sports stuff right now, DFJ. I'm really, really into the sports channel. I want to get that going off the ground too. So all like the side quests and the lively, like lively makes me feel bad. Sports uplifts me. So I'm kind of leaning on that. But yes, I want to sleuth it out as well. It's so funny because now that I create my own content, it's really, really hard to like sleuth stuff out because I'm so busy creating that I don't have as much time to sleuth. But Charlie Kirk's case gave me like a new zest for sleuthing because I was like, okay, who is this guy? When the footage came out, I was like, okay, let's slow down these frame by frame these videos and see if he's in the crowd or whatever. And obviously he got caught before I could really sleuth it out. But I'm glad that that happened. According to Kash Patel, law enforcement did not want the videos of the suspect out. And if you follow inmate 214 in the Idaho 4, we know that was the case, that they didn't want footage of the car initially to come out until way later when it came out. But I guess the FBI pushed for it. And then sure enough, the dad recognized. So thank God the FBI pushed for that footage to come out. Yes, so much hot tea on this live. Yeah, the Judge Lyman one is super hot tea. So let's see who else. Lyman's court already had a clerk and attorney arrested last year for fraud. What? Send me that, Jesse and Max. I want to see. It says SCNY court clerk fraud 2024. It's been erased from the mainstream media, but it's on the legal sites. Can you send me that little tea, Jesse and Max? Let me put my email. Oh, DFJ said she just found it. Okay. So I don't have to, let me see if I can I copy it? Can you send it? Can you send it to me on X so I can copy it real quick? We can wrap up with that before we go because it's already going over an hour, but, can you send that to me on X real quick, DFJ? So I can pull it up. Let me see. Let me see. There it is. Okay. Let me share the screen. Okay. Let me pull this down. Okay. Southern District of New York Court employee and criminal defense attorney sentenced for a decade-long bribery scheme. Damian Williams, who was the court clerk, let's see, and now disbarred, criminal defense attorney who practiced in SCNY, so that wasn't the clerk. Elsewhere, more than 20 years, were sentenced to 2 years and 1 year and 1 day in prison. As a clerk in the SCNY since in about 2002, Figueroa was responsible for performing duties that included making data entries regarding official case events and criminal cases, making summary entries. Figueroa also played a role with respect of intake of the bond. So it says, the public relies on attorneys and court employees to maintain and validate its faith in our criminal justice system. Del Valle, a former criminal defense attorney, and Figueroa, a longtime employee of the clerk's office, betrayed criminal defendants, the public, and those who rely on the court to remain impartial. What? That is crazy. So, what exactly were they doing? They engaged in a scheme whereby Figueroa used his position as an employee to encourage criminal defendants to retain Del Valle to represent them in pending criminal cases. Del Valle then paid Figueroa a portion of the fees that referred the clients. Over the course of more than a decade, he referred 45 SCNY criminal defendants to Del Valle, and in exchange, Del Valle paid Figueroa tens of thousands of dollars. And so many of the clients who retained and paid the referral were originally assigned free court-appointed counsel. So how did he make them? He was like, oh, I know a guy. Figueroa encouraged these individuals to change counsel, including by vouching for Del Valle's ability as a lawyer. Interesting little tidbit. Thank you for that juicy tea. The clerk was Gianose Figueroa and the attorney was Telefasora Del Valle Jr. Okay, well, that's the tea, y'all. So we already know SCNY is, I don't know, allegedly, in my opinion only. If you follow Jonathan Major's case, if you know, you know. SCNY has always had a reputation. So that's interesting. DFJ says, I want to know if Gottlieb has a connection with the clerk to get assigned Lyman so many of these cases. Yeah. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and wrap up. Thank you to everyone who's here. Anyone who's replay crew, just drop in the comments whether what y'all think about Taylor Swift. Are y'all no longer Swifties after this? Are you putting a pause on your Swiftie card? Are you revoking the Swiftie card? What's going on? Also, congrats to Perez. Anyone who's watching or who's on replay crew, go over to his channel and drop him a nice comment. Go support him over there on X or on YouTube. Just a little hi. Say, hey, CJ sent me and we're glad you won. And yes, we'll continue to monitor Blake Lively and her docket in that case. It's a headache. I'm not having any fun with it anymore, unless something juicy comes up where I start having fun with it again. It hasn't been that fun. Of course, I'll still be covering it because it's still going to be my Roman Empire until the very end. But I'm not having that much fun with the whole Taylor Swift not being deposed and then her just, going at it on this docket. It hasn't had any like juicy little nuggets or anything for me. So hopefully, and none of this is enjoyable. I say fun in like a real, surface kind of way because it all sucks for Justin Baldoni, but y'all know what I mean. I mean, like, it's not they added some amazing attorneys today. What? Let me go look at the docket. Is it on the docket? We're doing the Russian goodbye, y'all. I know that we tend to do this, but let me go see. Everyone's dropping all these little nuggets at the end here. Oh, that's Mario Lavandera's docket. Hold on. Let me go back to this docket. Let's go back to this docket and see who he added. Let's see. Notice of appearance by Jonathan Bach. Oh, heck yes. Alexandra Shapiro. So it wasn't Wayfarer. Is it Wayfarer? Yes, it's all of them. Oh my gosh, this is the best news. Guys, Alexandra Shapiro. This is so cool. This is so cool. Let me pull up her profile. Oh my gosh, this just made my day. Laura, you just made my day. Y'all know that I am a lawyer stan. I be standing lawyers. I know all my lawyers. Like Alexandra Shapiro. What? This is a game changer. Please and thank you. Okay, Alexandra Shapiro, if you didn't follow the YSL Young Thug trial, she was part of that. She was also part of the Diddy trial most recently. And although, yes, he got those 2 Mann Act charges, she's in charge of his appeal. So all of this that's going on, I don't know who Jonathan Bach is. Let me see if I can pull him up. I'm not familiar with his game, but I am familiar with Alexandra Shapiro's game, and she is really, really good. Let me see. Ooh, that's so exciting. And we know Jonathan Bach. He's one of the nation's. Oh, so he also works for Shapiro's law firm, Shapiro Arado Bach. So this is Jonathan Bach, leading trial lawyers over the past 30 years. He's handled numerous high-profile criminal and civil trials in federal and state courts throughout the country and has successfully represented Wall Street professionals, a past president of the New York Council of Defense Lawyers. Criminal defense practice, Jonathan has obtained numerous trial acquittals and helped many individuals and entities avoid charges altogether. So that is pretty cool. So he does civil trials, and then we have, again, Alexandra Shapiro. So she's a defense lawyer. She served as defense attorney for Young Thug, which we know he got on his RICO trial. So, which we know that was a success for them. And she also is on the Diddy Combs trial here. But let me see if I can just pull up her. Here we go. Pull up her actual Here we go. She's one of the leading appellate lawyers. So are they going to appeal? Is that why they got her on board? What's going on here? Successful results in high-profile white-collar matters. She's won appellate reversals in many criminal and civil cases. Let's go. Let's go. I am here for it. Annie Ruck says, Diddy, ew. Well, yeah, but I mean, it just goes to show how great of an attorney that she is if she is going to, help him with this appeal. I know a lot of people like I love Jose Baez, but I don't love the fact that Casey Anthony went free, but he's such a good lawyer. I'm looking forward to seeing him in this Shayna Gardner case because I don't want her to get off, but I want to see what he's going to do to try to get her off because there's no way the hitman said it was them that paid him. And so there's really no way out of it. And so I'm like, ooh, I wonder how Jose Baez is going to do in this case because he's really, really good. But I'm like, he's going to have to do some mental gymnastics for this. I like this Shapiro better than the CIA Shapiro. Hopefully it pays off. So if I'm ever subpoenaed by someone, can I just avoid it until the discovery date passes? Then I'm off the hook. That seems like what's happening here. But we don't know if Taylor Swift was subpoenaed or not. So let's see what else. Wait, it says explain the definition and purposely not saying it helps improve my speaking skills. Yes, I know. I keep saying explaining what definition. Roman put the link up. Okay, so let me see. CJ and DFJ, you got to hang in there for us. Yes, I'm definitely hanging in there for the Blake Lively lawsuit. I'm still going to be covering it and everything. I just, there's so many like other ones that I'm like super into. Let me see what else people are saying. Yes, we did miss you. Miss Busted says, I love your and I'll get better. I will. Y'all, I've only been streaming for 4 weeks, so I'm sure that once I'm a year into it or however long, what I really want to do is like make it into a whole network, like Objection, the network, and then get different hosts and stuff eventually. And then kind of just be putting content together and all that other stuff. And maybe doing, I don't know. I'm all over the place. Now I got a game show around the phone. I got a sports game show. I got a fashion community that's upstarting. But that's the way I see it. I see it like as Objection is the show and it's got all these offshoots of it. And Deborah says, you're doing great. Thank you. Oh, goodness. I'm out. Love you all. Okay, DFJ. We're taking too long. Yeah, I guess that's DFJ's like, I'm out. It says Deborah says you're doing great. Okay, so that's it. So DFJ saying, all right, let's wrap it up, folks. So we're gonna wrap it up. It's already been over an hour. I appreciate you guys, and we will see you tomorrow for another episode. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow morning. It's Tuesday. Which cases did I have queued up? I have the estate cases with Priscilla Presley and Princess Apollonia. I might be doing that one, or I might be going full Friedman and doing Bo DeMaio and Rebel Wilson. Since Ashley's doing her timeline, maybe we'll feature that. And thank you. Yeah, thank you all. Thanks, DFJ. And Laura, I appreciate for modding. She said, no, I love you, CJ. Oh, she's saying she's just out. She just has to go. Okay. No, but thank you, DFJ, for telling us, like giving us I'm over here, like y'all are leaving. I'm still at the car trying to follow y'all out. Like, okay, the car's still going down the street and I'm at the stop sign with y'all. Okay. Yes, but join me tonight for sure, guys. Join me tonight for the manhunt is over and we're going to sleuth what's going on, all the updates on that case, because he's going to get indicted on Tuesday, tomorrow. So if you guys want to catch up on the crime part of the Charlie Kirk stuff, go ahead and join me tonight. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, citizens. Have a great Monday, and we will see you on the next one.